Pulso. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified. World-class quality.
ACS.
Hindi matipid ang malaking bote ng ordinaryong dishwashing liquid. Kasi
Malaking bote, daming buhos, daming kuskus sa oras pagod kay gastos.
ang bote ng Joy matipid. Kasi
Isang purong patak ng Joy, mabulang babala. Ang Joy, mabulang babala. Ang Joy, totoong matipid. Isang purong patak ng Joy, mabulang babala. Ang Joy, mabulang babala. Ang Joy, totoong matipid. Purong patak, isang katutak.
Joy, purong patak, bisang katutak. That news was brought to you by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified, world-class quality.
ACS.
Narito ang isang patunay ng sarap at bisa ng Nature's Soya Coffee.
Po si Sonia Jose, taga San Miguel. Mananakit ng likod ang problema ko noon. Nag-Nature's Soya Coffee ako. Doon ko napansin na parang okay na rin yung likod ko. Hindi na rin ako mabilis mapagod.
Kape mo ng cafe, Nature's Soya Coffee. Mabibilis ng mga suking butika.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Nature's Soya Coffee ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Galing sa labas ng bahay, isanitize o hugasan ng mga napamili. Hubarin ang ginamit na sapatos at magpalit agad ng damit pagpasok sa bahay upang maiwasang magkaroon ng virus. Isang paalala mula sa ACS Manufacturing, maker of Pride Detergent. Santon Plus Herbal Capsule.
Ako si Joseph. 5 years na akong Santon Plus Herbal Capsule user. Walang ibang gamot na nakapagpagaling sa aking cirrhosis of the liver, kundi Santon Plus Herbal Capsule lang. The best talaga.
Santon Plus Herbal Capsule. Mabibili sa mga butika.
That news was brought to you by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified, world-class quality.
ACS.
Abangan ang programang Hatid ay kaalaman tungkol sa serbisyong medikal ng PhilHealth. Kasama ang ating radyoman na si Jenny Pahilanga. Sabay-sabay tayong tumutok sa Alagang PhilHealth sa Sentro Serbisyo sa Umaga. Tuwing Lunes alas 10:15 ng umaga dito lamang sa RMN Dzxl 558 Radyo Trabaho. Para sa karagdagang kaalaman at iba pang katanungan, makipag-ugnayan sa PhilHealth sa numerong 844-17442 at i-like ang kanilang official Facebook page at PhilHealth Official. Alagang PhilHealth. Hatid sa inyo ng PhilHealth, your partner in health.
May kasamang senior citizen sa bahay? Iwasan ang palabasin ng bahay. Pakainin ng malinis at masustansyang pagkain para malabanan ang COVID-19. Isang paalala mula sa ACS Manufacturing, maker of unique toothpaste.
Pride Bar, hindi lang puti, kisla puti.
Pag nilaban sa Pride Bar Blue, ang puting damit ay magiging
Mas puti ito, mas puti ito, mas puti ito.
sa Pride Bar Blue. Pwedeng hindi na ako magtina, anyel o bleach dahil ang Pride Bar Blue ay may power whitener na nanunuot sa bawat hibla. Kaya ang damit ay kisla puti at panayan pa sa kamay.
Mas puti ito, mas puti ito, mas puti ito.
Pride Bar Blue with power whitener. Di lang puti, kisla puti. Pride Bar Blue. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified. World-class quality.
ACS.
Dumarami na ang guminhawa gamit ang Mighty C.
Ako si Marites Roque, isang housewife. Grabe ang allergies ko, kaya uminom ako ng Mighty C. Nire-recommend ako talaga ito dahil natulungan ako sa problema ko sa allergy.
Kontrahin ang mga sakit. Vitamin C na alkaline base. Mighty C.
Buong araw sa opisina, pag-uwi, haharapin pa ang labada. Kahit naka-washing machine na ako, kailangan ko pa rin magkuskus. Kasi feeling ko, di sapat ang detergent magtanggal ng dumit mancha. Kaya, Mrs. All you need is Pride.
Pride Power Wash. Specially made for washing machines. Kaya tama ang bula. May stain-away formula na effective magtanggal ng dumit mancha. Bawas kuskus sa laba.
Basta washing machine, all you need is Pride.
Pride Power Wash Detergent. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified. World-class quality.
ACS.
Santon Plus Herbal Capsule.
Ako si Jessa, 25 years old. Dati may leukemia ako. Kasabay sa pag-take ko ng aking mga gamot, ang Santon Plus Herbal Capsule. Ang laking tulong talaga ng Santon Plus. And finally, I'm a leukemia survivor.
Santon Plus. Mabibili sa mga butika. Lumipas at magbago ang panahon. Iisa at nakatatak ang kauna-unahang himpilan sa paghahatid ng serbisyo publiko at balita. Ito ang Radio Mindanao Networks. Higit 6 na dekada sa paglilingkod sa masang Pilipino. Sa Metro Manila, ito ang DZXL 558 Radyo Trabaho. Ang inyong gabay sa hanap buhay.
Nag-aalala, baka maging sing-asim ng paksiw ang darating na Pasko ninyo dahil nawalan kayo ng trabaho dulot ng pandemya? Worry no more! Ang job openings ng DZXL 558 Radyo Trabaho ang sagot dyan! Naghahatid ng iba't ibang klase ng trabaho mula sa white-collar jobs hanggang sa mga pagawaan ng iba't ibang produkto ng pagkain at essentials sa mga restaurants, hotels, mga bakanting trabaho sa mga mall at part-time jobs. And wait, there's more! Meron ding mga trabaho pang-abroad! Job openings! Mapapakinggan sa lahat ng programa ng DZXL 558 Radyo Trabaho. Araw-araw mula umaga hanggang gabi. Nagbibigay ng mga bakanting trabaho para sa lahat at para maging happy ang Christmas for everyone. Job openings mula sa himpilang gumagabay sa inyong hanap buhay. DZXL 558 Radyo Trabaho.
Radyo Trabaho. DZXL. Ang inyong gabay sa hanap buhay.
Ang oras po natin mga kasama, alas 12:45 na po ng magandang hapon.
Sa COVID-19, DZXL 558 Radyo Trabaho Special Coverage.
Mga kasama, diretso po tayo sa Palasyo ng Malacanang para sa virtual press briefing ni Secretary Harry Roque at nasa linya po natin ngayon si XL Radyo Man 4 Angel Ronquillo.
Bayanihan laban sa COVID-19. Update.
Nga ni Presidential Spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque itong si DBM Secretary Wendell Avisado kung saan tinatalakay nito kung yung mga pondo na nai-release na sakop sa Bayanihan 2 at yung mga pondo na under approval pa sa Office of the President, ito yung waiting pa na mailabas sa iba't ibang ahensya ng pamahalaan para nga magamit bilang stimulus package. At guest din itong si Philippine Ambassador to China Chito Santa Romana, hinggil naman ito sa development ng bakuna dyan nga sa China na isa ang Pilipinas sa mga priority na country na mabibigyan nga nitong bakuna laban sa COVID-19. Mga kasama, pakinggan natin ang nasabing press con.
Invitation of hook up for the good president to address the foreign correspondents as well.
Well, sa tingin ko naman po, kung pumayag naman ng presidente sa Malacanang press corps, I see no reason why he will not also agree to FOCAP. Pero our practice is FOCAP actually is represented in the Malacanang press corps, and I understand you also form part of the FOCAP, no? So siguro po when it happens, maybe we could include some members of FOCAP also to ask questions to the president.
Yeah, but anyway, we can make arrangements for that. Let me ask the good Secretary Avisado. Secretary, Ambassador Chito Santa Romana mentioned the need for cold chain storage facility to house the vaccines. Will we have the funds for that? Should the vaccines be delivered to us?
Surely, as the sun rises in the east, there will be funds for that because the President will never allow that we will run short of the requirements to make sure that we have the storage facilities for all of these vaccines po.
Okay, thank you for this. Now, I'd like to go to Ambassador Chito Santa Romana. Mr. Ambassador, Your Excellency, good afternoon. Good afternoon from Manila. Nice to see you. The spokesman of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs was quoted last week that there are mechanisms, agreements on the joint exploration. There will be consultations as well. Would you know if there are scheduled consultations to push through with the joint exploration of resources within the South China Sea or West Philippine Sea? What have you heard?
Well, it's been a year, almost a year, since the first intergovernmental committee that discussed the oil and gas cooperation met, and there was a scheduled meeting or a plan to have a meeting in the first quarter of this year. It got affected by pandemic, and the committee has not been able to meet. So there are diplomatic discussions going on when it can resume safely. You see, the problem is still where to meet and who will go and how the travel plan. So unless it's done virtually, there are limitations to virtual meeting, particularly on sensitive issues. So those are the issues being discussed right now. So I think it's two levels: the intergovernmental meetings, and there's also the interentrepreneurial meeting. So the companies involved, they can meet if they have the capability to do so. And from what I understand, offhand, it's just that meetings have been going on despite the pandemic. Exactly when and where and how, I have no specific information. So the only obstacle, I think, right now is really time and place and pandemic. when the conditions can move forward. We hope that the necessary meetings can happen soon, but there is no specific time period, and there are diplomatic consultations going on.
Yes. Mr. Ambassador, was there any adverse reaction from the Chinese government when Secretary Al-Kusi mentioned that the President agreed to lift the moratorium for the exploration of our resources in the West Philippine Sea?
Well, the Foreign Ministry spokesman of China gave a fairly positive reaction. They said that they look forward to cooperation between the two sides in line with the MOU of 2018. So I think there will be more discussions on this, but that's what I know.
Okay. Thank you very much, Melo. We go back to you, Secretary, now.
Thank you.
Okay, Secretary, question from Trish Terada of CNN Philippines for Secretary Abisado. Sir, may we know your thoughts about the leaked draft report of the House Committee investigating PhilHealth? Nakasama raw po kayo pinakakasuhan for alleged corruption in the agency.
I'm sorry po, I cannot comment on something that I have no knowledge of. Sorry po. We will wait for that report to come out po.
A question from Virgil Lopez of GMA News Online. Commission on Audit data showed that 949 billion worth of government funds was unused in 2018, 1.233 trillion in 2017, and 1.074 trillion in 2016. How will the government address the underspending of the national budget?
Probably the ones who can be more competent to answer that are the departments concerned. Kasi po, once we have released the funds to the respective departments, it is their duty and responsibility to manage and spend it in accordance with the purpose intended. So I will defer to the secretaries concerned of these departments po.
Opo. Question for Secretary Roque. Several lawmakers lamented the 2.5 billion allocation for COVID-19 vaccines under the 2021 budget, saying it will not be enough to cover the population. Will the PALA support initiatives in Congress to increase the funds for vaccine purchase?
Well, the power of the purse is vested in Congress. We will bow to the wisdom of Congress should they deem it fit to increase the budget for the vaccine. No? And of course, may pagkukuhanan po yan. No? So we hope that Congress will at least confer with the executive kung saan nila kukunin yung pondo para itaas ang budget for the vaccine. But we join Congress in our desire that we should have sufficient funds to pay for the vaccine, which according po to Ambassador Chito is really forthcoming in the near future.
Thank you, Secretary.
Thank you. Punta tayo kay Pia Renada, please.
Hi, sirs. Good afternoon. Sir, just a quick clarification po sana with Ambassador Chito, if it's okay.
Yes, please.
Ambassador, can I just clarify what you said earlier when you said China would give us priority access to the vaccine, but we need to have cold storage facilities ready and distribution facilities ready. Can I just clarify, is this a condition of China on the Philippines that if you don't ensure these things, we won't get the access?
No, I don't think so. It's not a condition. It's just a reminder that if you get the vaccine and you don't have cold chain storage, then it's useless. So you have to prepare. It's basically it calls our attention on the need for the preparatory work to receiving the vaccine on a priority basis, and the requirement for it to be effective. And that's really the storage is a major issue. Because I don't know the situation in the Philippines, but that's why we, in our reports also to our headquarters, we have conveyed this and to relay it to the health authorities. And I think the health experts are very much aware of this. I just don't know the condition of cold storage in the Philippines. That's why I want to reiterate this necessary condition for effective deployment and effective distribution of the vaccine.
All right. So, sir, for the record, there has been no condition imposed by China on the Philippines for the vaccine?
No, not at all. Actually, we're the ones. Our condition is that it should pass our local requirements.
Okay. Thank you, Master. Moving on to spokesman Harry Roque. Sir, just on the issue of baby River Nasino, sir, according to court documents on Reyna May Nasino's case, her baby River had to be separated from her less than 2 months after birth because the Manila City jail she was at said that they had no facilities for the baby. And activists do say, as well as most of scientific journals say that babies thrive best when they're with their mothers right after birth. So, sir, is this lack of facilities that affected baby River's well-being acceptable to Malacanang?
We don't know the circumstance po. No? Again, it's very difficult to comment on something that we have no information on. No? But we will look into the matter. And of course, we realize that unless convicted, you are presumed innocent, and that we will see what reforms can come about because of this experience with this particular incident.
Mm-hmm. Sir, will Malacanang do something like maybe give instructions or find a way to ensure that babies born in jail get to stay with their mothers and have access to the facilities they need?
I will personally take steps to inquire into this, no? Knowing that there's some treaty obligations that will probably have to be complied with. No? But as it stands, I do not know if Manila City Jail has that facility in fact, and we will inquire from the DILG, because it is the DILG that manages the jail for detainees, those who have not been convicted by the courts.
Okay, and sir, last question. This can be answered by either you, sir, or DBM Secretary Avisado. Sir, could we just know the specific reasons why President Duterte is taking so long to approve the 46 billion that Sec Avisado says is pending? I mean, what were the specific concerns that the OES is working on, or is it the President himself who is taking time studying these fund requests?
Well, as I said po, no, sinisiguro lang ng OES na the funds are indeed needed, and that it will go to its intended beneficiaries.
Sir, any specific aspect of the request? Because the bill was also something that Malacanang looked at, right? So, is there any problem, sir, with the allocations or
ask again on issues? Monday, because I will personally talk to Executive Secretary about this matter.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We go back to Yusek Rocky, please.
Apo, question from Samed Emilia of Business Mirror for Secretary Avisado po. What is the reason for the bottleneck in the release of the Bayanihan 2 budget, and what are the measures being implemented by DBM and other government agencies to resolve this? Magkano po ang magiging allocation for the purchase of COVID-19 vaccine?
Wala pong bottlenecks po. Proseso lang po ang sinusunod natin. Pagka po kompleto lahat ng dokumento, inaakyat po kaagad natin yan sa Office of the President for the corresponding approval. So, pagka sinabi po bottleneck, may problema na is delaying. Wala naman po. Hindi naman din po sabay-sabay silang nagsasubmit ng requirements. Kaya po, as they come, we evaluate and then we elevate to the Office of the President, who has the final say. But we have the funds, the Bureau of Treasury has certified that funds are available. So, ang importante po, hindi rin po naman nauubusan ng pera pa yung mga departments natin. Kaya nga po, ang aming sinasabi sa kanila, pagka hindi pa nalabas kaagad yung approval, use whatever available funds you have para po punan. Pag dumating na yon, idadagdag na naman uli. Ganun lang po yon. Kaysa po ilalagak namin kaagad lahat, ina-analyze po namin kasi in-study po namin yung utilization rate ng mga departments para po alam nila na dapat i-move yung pera dahil nga ang batas ay mag-i-expire December 19. Plus of course,
Bayanihan laban sa COVID-19. Dzxl 558 Radyo Trabaho. Special coverage.